This offseason, Ben Simmons has taken it upon himself to try to deceive the public into believing he's coming back big and better than ever, although everybody knows, including himself, that he is not going to. Once the closing seconds of Game 4 in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs happened, he apparently healed his back and he was ready for the offseason. So today, I'm going to take a look at the rise and fall of Ben Simmons, how he managed to become the most hated player in Philadelphia, and how he's slowly gaining that status in Brooklyn. But we have to turn the clock all the way back to 2014 to start the story off. Ben Simmons would play high school basketball as a senior at Mount Verde Academy. As a junior, he would average 18 points and 10 rebounds and 3 blocks on average, and would lead Mount Verde Academy to an undefeated 28-0 record. He captivated audiences with his insane ball handling ability. His passing ability for a power forward was amazing, not to mention his finishing at the rim was great, and he would actually hit jumpers. During his senior year, Ben Simmons would play in the McDonald's All-American game, along with winning the Naismith Prep Player of the Year, along with Gatorade National Player of the Year. Mount Verde Academy would finish with 28 wins to just 1 loss. Ben Simmons would averaging a scorching hot 28 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists on 70% from the field. He would also lead Mount Verde Academy to their 3rd straight title, along with being ranked as the #1 player in the class of 2015. When he was searching for a college to play at, he would turn down offers from places like Kansas in favor of LSU. The Tigers had only qualified for the tournament twice in the last decade, losing in the second round both times. And it would be more of the same with Ben, averaging 19 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals per game on 56% shooting. They would win 19 out of their 33 games. During this time, LSU Ben Simmons showed signs of brilliance. His excellent court vision, paired with his amazing passing ability, resulted in him being a force on offense. He also hit 1 3-pointer as an LSU Tiger, being 1 for 3 overall, and his overall jumper didn't look too bad. Heading into the 2016 NBA draft, everyone understood the power forward from LSU would be first up. Therefore, when the 76ers took him at #1, it was not a shocker to anyone by any means. In the summer league, Ben Simmons was showing us what he was made of: 12 points on average, 8 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, and was playing point guard, flashy passes, and successful mid-range jumpers. However, it would end up being bad news from the Simmons camp, as during a practice, he would break his foot and would sit out during the entire 2016-2017 season. Ben Simmons' NBA career would resume in the 2017-18 season. As a rookie, he averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists on a solid 54% from the field. However, he had a major issue. He wouldn't hit 3-pointers and was a really bad free throw shooter. You have to realize this was at the height of the 3-point revolution. It was to the point where centers were even hitting shots from downtown. But a shot Ben was able to hit was the mid-range. He attempted 585 of them as a rookie. However, that 0 for 12 from 3 mark still stung on his rookie resume. Another notable moment during his rookie year was against the New York Knicks, when Ben Simmons would become the 3rd rookie in NBA history to reach 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists. Ben Simmons would also win Rookie of the Year, taking home a controversial award over Donovan Mitchell in a very controversial race. The Philadelphia 76ers would nearly flip their record from the previous season, going from 28-54 to 52-30. They would make the playoffs for the first time in years, and it was starting to seem like the process was really working. They would dismantle the Heat in round 1 to the tune of a gentleman's sweep. Ben Simmons would average a near triple-double on 55% true shooting. The Boston Celtics were up next. The 2 young guns would battle it out. However, this time the 76ers were at the receiving end of a gentleman's sweep. 24. That's the amount of times Ben Simmons would turn the ball over in those 5 games. He also only scored 1 point with 5 turnovers in Game 2. However, Ben Simmons was going into his 2nd season. The young 21-year-old was going to be able to improve tremendously. His potential was through the roof, but that didn't end up happening. Ben's stats looked almost exactly the same. During the offseason, he was able to work on his defense and got even better, and even got votes to be put on an all-defensive team. However, his offensive production remained the same. In fact, he still hadn't even made a 3-pointer yet, along with a lot less mid-range shots. However, he would make the All-Star team for the first time in his career, and it was time for the 76ers to face the Nets in round 1. Ben would average 17 points, 7 assists, and 7.6 rebounds in round 1, including a 31-point splash in Game 3, and the 76ers would win in a 5-game series. A great series from Ben. Great response to Nets' Jared Dudley, who had many criticisms on the young Simmons. However, in round 2, Ben would completely regress. 11 points and 7 rebounds was rough, especially from someone like Simmons, who was getting criticized constantly for his lack of improvement. The Raptors would do away with the 76ers in 7 games, with one of the most wild buzzer beaters in NBA history to top it off. In the 2019-20 NBA season, Ben Simmons was averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, but would be sidelined mid-season due to a back injury that would persist until the bubble. However, he would be sidelined just 3 games into the bubble and would not be a part of the Celtics sweeping the 76ers in round 1. The 2020-2021 NBA season was really rough for Ben Simmons. When James Harden requested a trade out of Houston, Ben would be put into mock trades for the Beard. However, none of those trades would be commenced. Ben would take a really big offensive step down, going from 16 points and 8 assists to 14 points and 7 assists. However, not all was bad for Simmons. He gave the NBA fans something to be excited about on a few different occasions. Nobody could poke fun at those 42 points he dropped on Utah, where he hit 92% of his foul shots. However, it was time for the Washington Wizards in the first round. Despite nearly averaging a triple-double in round 1, Ben Simmons' free throw shooting woes would shine through, shooting a hideous 35% from the line, leading to him being mocked and criticized for his lack of success from the line. Anytime the Wizards needed a quick foul, they would immediately go for Ben Simmons. However, what would happen in the semis would be the last straw for Ben Simmons and Philly. 33% from the foul line in round 2, 10 points, 8.6 assists, and 6 rebounds on average. That would be the series 76ers fans lost all hope for Ben Simmons, and they were calling for his departure. In the 2021-2022 NBA season, Ben Simmons would sit out for the entire season due to a quote-unquote back injury. His time in Philadelphia would come to an end in February, as James Harden would once again hit the trade market. This time, the 76ers would actually pursue James Harden, sending Ben Simmons and a company of Sixers players for James Harden. It was rumored during the 2021-2022 season that he would come back, but that would end up not happening. He would end up not playing. That brings us to this past season, where Ben Simmons has been absolutely atrocious. Career lows in games played, points per game, rebounds, and assists per game, on his way to fouling out twice in the first 3 games. Ben Simmons' on-court play since his rookie year has just been downhill. He's shown no signs of improvement since being a rookie. In fact, he's regressed a lot more. And although Ben Simmons may want you to believe that he's going to get better, you know he's not.